One suffered in poverty, the other grew up in wealth. But fate brought them back together. What followed was tragedy, heartbreak, and a family torn apart by secrets, betrayal, love, and the unbreakable bond of blood. Once upon a time, in the quiet village of Umeze, where the sound of men pounding yam echoed at dusk from many families, and the smell of African salad called abacha filled the evening air. There lived a young couple, Obinna and Ngozi, who were happily married and about to welcome their first child. Rumor had it that they were expecting twins. In those days, some villagers believed twins brought both blessings and curses. Some families rejected it, but others trembled. One night, the moon was high above Umueze village, casting its shadow's light over the roof of Mama Ada. Inside, a woman in labor cries out. Her pain echoed through the night. Women that lived nearby all gathered, their voices taken with urgency. Mama Ada, the midwife, asked Ngozi to push. Push! Push! Ngozi, your child is almost here. With a final cry, the sound of a baby's wail filled the room. Relief swept across the women's faces, but before they could rejoice, Mama Ada's eyes widened. Wait, wait, there is another one coming. Twins? By the gods, she is carrying twins. Moments later, another cry piercing the night, softer, weaker than the first. Two baby girls lay side by side, tiny fists clutching at life. Ngozi was weak, but smiling through her sweat. Twins? My daughters. Oh, Chukwu Okike, you have blessed me double, she said. But not everyone was smiling. In the corner of the room stood Obinna, her husband. His face was hard as stone. His eyes filled not with joy, but with bitterness. Obinna grumbling, two girls? Two useless girls? Where is the son I prayed for? What good are daughters to me? The women took a deep breath. Ngozi's smile faded, replaced with tears. Ngozi was pleading with him. Obinna, they are children, our children, whether sons or daughters. They are blessings from God. Please hold them. Obinna turned away. I asked God for a son to carry my name, not daughters who will one day leave me for another man's house. One daughter is already a burden, but two? What crime have I committed? He stormed out of the room. Silence filled the room, heavy and painful. The women exchanged uneased glances. Ngozi clutched her daughters, rocking them gently as tears slid down her cheeks. It is well, my angels, she said as she rubbed their hands while she cried. Ngozi wept with joy when she heard her two daughters, delicate, beautiful, and identical like two mirrors. She named them Chidimma, God is good, and Chidiebere, God is merciful. But her joy soon turned into sorrow. There was a dangerous conspiracy. Obinna's elder brother, Mr. Ekwueme, poisoned with envy, invited Obinna for a drink at his home to celebrate with him, but also convinced Obinna that raising twin girls would bring poverty and shame to his family. One child is a blessing. Two kids are a burden. Let me take one and raise her for myself, "You would thank me later," Ekwueme said. Ekwueme was a wealthy man who lives in the city with his wife Adako, an event planner that always travels around the country. They have been married for several years, but still no child. They tried so many means to have a child, but all amounted to nothing. His wife was barren. Obinna, on the other hand, was a gullible man. He was a teacher in one of the community schools. His elder brother knew him well, weak and easy to be convinced. He agreed to his brother's request. That night, Ekwueme sent his boys to Obinna's house at the dead of the night, while Ngozi was fast asleep with her newborn babies wrapped around her arms. Obinna, who was still awake, helped open the entrance door for them. Ekwueme's men came inside the house and snatched one child, Chidiebere, from her hand. And when they were about leaving, Obinna waved them goodbye as they vanished into the darkness. Ngozi woke up the next morning, shocked, and was searching for one of her baby. She quickly ran to Obinna, her husband. "Obim, where is Chidiebere, my child? I thought you were with her." "Asam, no, I'm not carrying any baby. They were with you throughout the night," he said. Ngozi was looking like a mad woman. "I bathed them both last night. I breastfed them both. They were both lying in my arms." She looked at Obinna in tears as she screamed until her voice broke. "Where is my daughter? Ah!" she cried. "Shimo, they have taken my child," beating her chest. She ran outside. When she started tearing her wrapper, Obinna quickly heard her and comforted her as she continued crying. She cursed the night and cursed the hands that stole her child. "Anyone who took my child will never experience joy in their life," she said. Obinna quickly closed her mouth. "Asam, please, don't lay such dangerous curses on your fellow human being. Please, stop it." Her heart never healed. She continued crying as she went in search for her. Their lives was split in two parts. Chidima lived with her mother. Life wasn't easy as things became hard since her twin was stolen, and she grew in hardship. She hawked pepper, fetched waters, and read her books under kerosene lantern. Poverty bent her shoulders, but could not break her spirit. She carried her mother's pain like a second skin. Chidiebere, on the other hand, now grows by the name Amarachi, raised by Ekwueme's barren wife. Grew in the city. She had fine shoes, wore the finest clothes, and went to the best schools. But her home was loveless. The woman who raised her was strict, bitter, and cold-hearted. Often reminded her, "Without me, you are nothing in this life," she always tell Amarachi. But Ekwueme would always tell her to shut up and stop talking to their daughter that way. He would always carry her and pamper her. Amarachi often stared into mirrors, wondering why her reflection felt like someone else's shadow. Mostly in her sleep, she always dreamt of a girl who looked just like her, calling her from afar, and sometimes they would play around. Ngozi never gave up on the search for her daughter. She kept going to church, praying to God. "God, please bring my daughter back to me," she would say, and sow a seed of faith on her behalf. But Obinna, her husband, cared less of her feelings or the emotional stress she was passing through. He would always go drinking with his friends whenever he got back from work. And anytime he got home, he would always nag her for not giving him a male child. Most nights, they would fight. Ngozi always accused him of selling one of her child. 20 years later, as time flies so fast, one day, during a grand wedding in Umueze, fate folded the threads of destiny together. Amarachi was invited to this wedding by her close friends, and she went without Ekwueme and his wife's knowledge. She came to the village with her friends. Chidinma has also grown. They both twins, now 20 years old. She was also there at the occasion as one of the ushers for the wedding. And immediately Chidinma saw Amarachi at the table she went to serve others, wearing a very nice expensive lace, wig, handbag, tied a very beautiful gele. Her makeup was top-notch. She screams and smells wealthy. Their eyes locked across the tables. They both froze for a second, shocked and surprised. Their heartbeats rised. The tray in Chidinma's hand slipped, scattering meat and rice she was carrying. Amarachi gasped, tapping her chest, and still shocked to see Chidinma doing the same thing. This is what she normally does whenever she is scared or angry. Chidinma was whispering to herself, "Why does she look like me?" Amarachi, shaking in shock, "Who is this girl? And why does she look so familiar?" The crowd murmured, pointing fingers at them, gossiping. Is that not one of Ngozi's twins she has been looking for all these years? Another said, God has finally answered her prayers. That poor woman. Both girls later stood up, held each other's hands, and stepped out of the crowd. At the corner of the house, my mother told me I had a twin sister, but she was kidnapped when we were merely a month old at her sleep. And we don't know if she was still alive or not. You look exactly like me, Chidinma said to her as she was smiling. But Amarachi was quiet because she always had this dream of her meeting a girl who looked exactly like her. She was sad when she met Chidinma, but immediately she heard that she was kidnapped, her heart bled. She always knew that Adako wasn't her biological mother. Please, can you take me to your mother? Let me speak with her. I need to ask her some questions, Amarachi demanded. Chidinma nodded her head. No problem. She will be thrilled to see you, she added. The occasion continued. Amarachi had a very beautiful car, so she took a quick trip to her biological parents' house. When they got there, Ngozi was already going out when she spotted a fancy car driving into her compound. In curiosity, she stepped back in order to get a better view. The car came to a stop. Chidinma came out of the car, running to her. Mama, Mama, oh, you won't believe who I saw today, Chidinma added, while jumping up like kids who was bribed with biscuits. Then Ngozi rushed forward, trembling. Her eyes caught a small scar on Amarachi's shoulder, the very scar her missing baby had from birth. She collapsed on the floor crying. Ewo, Chimo, this is my lost child, the one they stole from me, she cried. Amara froze again, not knowing how to act. She stood there while Chidinma comforted their mother. In an hour, people started gathering in their house to see if the rumor was true, As Amara regained herself, Ngozi asked her where she came from, who she was staying with. She wanted to hear her own side of the whole story. But immediately she mentioned Ekwueme, everyone screamed, Chimo! Hey! Arweme! Ngozi's hand was on her head as she continued shouting, Obinna, you are very wicked. You are a wicked man. Meanwhile, Obinna wasn't home as this drama unfolds. Amarachi quickly brought out her phone and called her city father. As tears filled her eyes, she told him everything that had happened. The elders of the village quickly gathered. They also sent a message to Ekwueme demanding he come down to the village with his wife immediately. Accusations flew the crowd that gathered at Ngozi's compound. Where they arrived, Ekwueme's face turned pale as truth strangled his lies. Secrets uncovered. Before the council of elders, Ekwueme confessed his sins, that Obinna gave him one of his twins. Ekwueme, weeping, beating his chest, My elders, please, forgive me. I was blinded by envy. I thought I was saving my brother. Instead, I was destroying my family. Obinna fell to the ground, crying, Asambiko Zienu, forgive me. It was the work of the devil. I don't know what came over me. As he continued to plead, kneeling down on the ground, crying before his wife. Ngozi spat at him in disgust. Obim, I can't believe you could do this to me. How is this my fault that God blessed me with 2 girls? As she cried, her heart torn between relief and rage. Amarachi's foster mother, consumed by shame, could not bear the gossip of the villagers. One night, she poisoned herself. Her body was found in her bathtub, her wrapper soaked with tears and vomit. And Ekwueme, crushed by guilt, felt sick and withered like a leaf under harmattan. He died within 6 months, carrying his regret to the grave. Amarachi took her mother and her sister out of the village to come live with her in the city, leaving Obinna, her father, alone in the village. The family tried to rebuild, but the scar remained. Chidima struggled with resentment. Why had her sister lived in wealth while she suffered in poverty? And Amarachi carried her own pain. Why had she been raised in a loveless home when her true mother longed for her embrace? Some nights, the twins fought with words sharp as knife. Other nights, they would hug each other and cry until dawn. One evening, the twins sat at the top of the house. Their mother, Ngozi, sat beside them, tears in her eyes. We lost 20 years, stolen by lies. Who will give them back to us now? Chidima said. Amarachi, holding her hands, we cannot recover the years, but we can live the rest of our lives together. Blood cannot be broken, you know. Then Ngozi, their mother, stretched her arms around them both, whispering prayers into the night. May no hand ever separate you again, she said. The villagers still talk about their story as a song in these present days. It tells of sorrow, reunion, and the cruel hand of envy. Forgiveness heals, but scars remain. The twins forgive, but they never forgot the 20 years lost. Families must choose honesty today to avoid tears tomorrow. Every lie has an end. For 20 years, Ekwueme hid his sin, but truth rose like the morning sun, burning through every shadow. Poverty is not a curse, and wealth is not always a blessing. Chidima's poverty taught her resilience. Amarachi's wealth gave her comfort, but no peace. A balanced life is the true blessing. Destiny may be delayed, but it cannot be denied. Despite 20 years of separation, the twins found each other again. Blood and destiny will always seek their way back. Education is the true inheritance. Chidima's struggle for knowledge showed that wealth without love is emptiness. Amarachi had riches, but lacked affection. True inheritance is both wisdom and love. Envy is a silent killer of families. Ekwueme's jealousy consumed him until it led him to the grave. Families must guide against comparison. Parents should never neglect their children's future. Obina's weakness robbed Ngozi and her daughters of peace. A single wrong decision by a parent can cause a lifetime of scar. The story of Chidinma and Amarachi teaches us that no matter how far blood is scattered, destiny will gather it again. But let no parent, no uncle, no hand of envy play God over the lives of children. For the wound of stolen years never truly heals, even when forgiveness comes. Thank you all for watching this video. I hope you love my stories. Please like, comment and share this video. And please subscribe to my channel for more exciting stories. See you all in my next video. Bye. Thank you.